In my teenage listening to the stories of music, film, and media celebrities, I always wondered what it truly means when someone says they've sold their soul to the devil or Shaitan. This enigmatic expression has intrigued minds for many generations, taking its roots from the age-old struggle between good and evil. The idiom originates from ancient European and Middle Earth beliefs in celestial and infernal forces, painting a vivid image of a desperate or heavily greedy individual bargaining with the malevolent entity known as the devil. The concept of selling one's soul to the devil is a recurring motif in literature, films, painting, sculpture, and even music. Each point that comes ahead in this video will bring a smile within you. Atmaguru Korakday says that this narrative tool symbolizes a fateful pact where an individual from an evil hypocritical family willingly relinquishes their moral integrity in exchange for the fulfillment of their worldly desires, ambitions, or greed. Often, these aspirations are of a materialistic nature: wealth, fame, power, rewards that, while alluring, come at a great cost. Korak also adds that the cost is paid more by their future generations. But the phrase is not just about literal deals with supernatural entities. Over time, it has evolved and been interpreted in various ways across cultures, often bearing a profound significance. It encapsulates a universal human experience, one of the moral dilemmas, hard choices, painful sacrifices, and endless sufferings by self, family, and children as a legacy. The act of selling one's soul is a metaphor for making that compromise our values and principles for short-term benefits or gains. It is about surrendering our identity, our essence, for transient pleasures or advantages, about losing sight of who we truly are in the relentless pursuit of material success. Korak, who's a Satugi Generation A, says that living a simple and happy life is uncool these days. It forces us to question our values, our choices, our lack of family morals, and the true cost of our evil greed. So, selling one's soul might not be a literal pact with the devil, but it can be just as consequential. It's a reminder of the potential pitfalls of unchecked greed and the importance of staying true to the Bhagwan or meta-god within us, even when faced with enticing temptives. But what does living a life opposite to that look like? Selling one's soul, quite a dramatic phrase, isn't it? It likely stirs up images of dark agreements and Faustian pacts. But what does this truly signify? Essentially, the notion of selling one's soul is linked with trading one's moral compass or ethical values for individual profit. It symbolizes a compromise of one's dignity for the appeal of influence, fortune, or recognition. The question arises, is a real occurrence? Obviously, it's not to be taken literally. There's no mysterious entity lurking at crossroads ready for a bargain. Instead, it's a metaphorical notion, a representation that signifies the lengths some go to for their aspirations. Atmaguru says that nowadays most people around us have already sold their souls to the devil, so the devil is omnipresent, and the worst is that these people look coolest, talk sweetest, and impact deepest. The tale of Dr. Faustus, who sells his soul to the devil in his quest for power and information, is a prominent example. Other stories abound of ambitious people discarding their principles to ascend the success ladder, only to end up morally destitute at the peak. In contemporary culture, this concept is regularly used to delve into the human psyche. Robert Johnson, the blues musician who supposedly traded his soul for the recognition of his talent, is a classic example. Movies and books, too, often portray characters making comparable moral trade-offs, using the notion of soul selling as a powerful symbol of the tension between ambition and conscientiousness. Envision a life opposing this idea. Can you think of any examples from pop culture where a singer, actor, etc. sells their souls and becomes extremely famous? Write their names below and tell us why. So, what does it mean to live a life opposite to selling your soul? Korak renounced his military officer's white-collar job at the young age of 25, leaving a lavish life, and came to Calcutta to serve the unloved, unwanted, friendless, lonely, and destitute. He could have been enjoying the luxury of a decorated military officer with a wife, children, and all privileges. He won many international awards for his film My Karma, but he chose a life of, as he says, trying to make heaven in hell. Why did he leave all for selflessness? Living a life of goodness isn't about being flawless, but about striving to improve. It's about accepting our errors, learning from them, and making a conscious effort to change. It's about recognizing the worth in others and treating them with kindness. It's about adopting empathy, compassion, and love as our guiding values. But this path isn't easy. Upholding these values in a world that often rewards selfishness can be challenging. Staying true to our principles when faced with temptation can be tough. Yet, the rewards of such a life are immense. It offers inner peace that money cannot buy. It leads to a healthier society and a better world for the next generation. Let's explore some practical steps to live this way. But first, let's reflect. What values are vital to you? Did you ever compromise on your beautiful soul for personal gain? Share that story in the comments section below. Someone would get inspired by your story. How can you start to live a life that values goodness above all else? To live such a life involves a journey, not an overnight change. It starts with being mindful of our actions and their impact on others. Small, consistent choices that align with our moral compass are key. One of the most crucial steps is practicing kindness, which can come in many forms, such as a friendly smile or helping those in need. It's about acknowledging the humanity in others, treating them with compassion and respect. Another important facet is honesty. More than just telling the truth, it involves being genuine and true to ourselves and others. It takes courage to express our true feelings and thoughts, especially when it's tough. Honesty cultivates trust and encourages open communication, fostering meaningful relationships. Apart from kindness and honesty, prioritizing ethical decisions is vital. Making choices that are fair and just, taking into account the wider consequences of our actions. Standing up for what we believe in, even when it's inconvenient or unpopular, is an essential part of this. Remember, what we do is not just for us, but also for all who are and who will be related to us, says Atmaguru Korak. It's about learning from our past mistakes and striving to be better, being patient with ourselves and others while understanding that change takes time. In essence, living a life of goodness entails being mindful, kind, honest, and ethically forward-thinking. It's about treating others as we would like to be treated and making a positive impact on the world around us, living with integrity and leading by example. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. What steps will you take to prioritize goodness in your life? So, we've explored some pretty profound concepts today, haven't we? Write yes in the comments section if you feel this. The concept, though chilling, has allowed us to think deeply. Yet amid the darkness that is promoted through all the various media outlets, here in this channel, this video, we found a glimmer of hope, a silver lining. We've uncovered a lifestyle that stands in stark contrast to this disheartening concept. A life that is dedicated to upholding our principles, a life that treasures and fosters our inherent virtues. This life is diametrically opposite to the dismal idea of selling one's soul. This is the meta-spiritual lifestyle that Atmaguru Korak has worked on since 1996, Satyugi Generation A. It's not just about recognizing this alternate way of life, but also about paving the path towards it. We've spoken about several practical steps on this journey. Steps that involve embracing kindness, fostering gratitude, and actively seeking wisdom. These actions are not just mere words, they are the pillars that support the structure of this ethical life. Stepping onto this path is a journey. It's about self-improvement, about striving to make your hash this life best life. It's about preserving our integrity, even when faced with tempting shortcuts that may lead us astray. This journey is about choosing the road less traveled and staying true to our principles no matter what. Never forget Atmaguru's words. Our lives are an example for our future generations, so let's make it a positive one. So, what do you think? Would you like to be a Satyugi Jain A and live a life opposite to selling your soul? And after watching this video, how do you feel? Share your thoughts in the comments below.